15 bodybuilders who became successful actors. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson is without a doubt one of the top actors in the world in terms of his salary, physique, and fan base. He's been crushing it in Hollywood for the past 10 years, and he also possesses one of the most desirable bodies. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing for Johnson. His life hasn't always been sunshine and roses. There have been high points and low points, such as when he had to overcome desperation and accept the end of his football career. But there's been one thing that's kept him going. That's bodybuilding. Dwayne's been a bodybuilding nut for decades. It's been the one constant in his life, killing it in the gym, keeping his nutrition on track, and everything else that comes with living the life of a bodybuilder. He may have never stepped on stage, but Dwayne's a true bodybuilder at heart, and definitely deserves a place on this list. Lou Ferrigno. He is most famous for having played the Incredible Hulk on television, plus winning Mr. Universe twice and appearing in the 1977 documentary Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the film which helped bring him and bodybuilding to the mainstream. While he was already big as Marvel's Green Goliath, Ferrigno bulked up more for the two Hercules films he made for the Italian film industry in the mid-80s. The famed bodybuilder says he was more cut for this role, as he approached it like training for Mr. Olympia. While the low-budget Hercules was not the best vehicle to showcase his acting, you would not have wanted to tell them that. Just watch him flexing those massive pecs. He could crush you with one arm. Arnold Schwarzenegger. While Schwarzenegger boasted an imposing frame throughout his career, he was in peak condition when John Milius directed him in this highly successful and influential fantasy epic. On top of being pumped up, the seven-time Mr. Olympia had a lot to learn for the film and its sequel. Sword fighting, camel and horse riding, rope and rock climbing, and hand-to-hand combat. While not training 4 hours a day like he did as a competitive bodybuilder, Schwarzenegger trained 2.5 to 3 hours per day for Conan, including an hour of weights, a half hour of running, and daily sword practice. Schwarzenegger's co-star, Sandor Bergman, who played his fellow swordsman and lover, was also in top shape and brought a dancer's grace to her thieving role. Bergman, who previously worked in musical theater, trained 2.5 hours a day, 3 days a week for 3 months, learning kendo and sword fighting. Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista had a successful career as a professional wrestler. But before he turned 30, Bautista was actually competing as a bodybuilder. Fast forward a few years, and he became a successful actor, best known for his role as Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy and other MCU movies. Reg Park. Reg Park is a bodybuilding legend who is still regarded by many as the greatest of all time. He amassed a number of accolades, including 3 Mr. Universe titles, and even mentored Arnold Schwarzenegger along the way. Park's exceptional physique helped him land the role of Hercules in several movies during the 1960s. David Prowse. The British weightlifter and bodybuilder got noticed for his height and imposing physique. Prowse starred in several movies, including A Clockwork Orange, 1971. But he's best remembered for the iconic role of Darth Vader in the first Star Wars movies. Steve Reeves. Reeves developed his interest in bodybuilding in high school, but his early adult life was interrupted by World War II, during which time he served as a soldier in Philippines. After the war, Reeves went on to study acting while competing in bodybuilding competitions. It was his acting career that took off, even though his first love was bodybuilding. Reeves acted in 17 films before retiring. He's known for playing iconic characters such as Hercules, Goliath, and Sandokan. Reeves paved the way for other bodybuilders such as Arnold Schwarzenegger to get into Hollywood. He was both an icon of the sport and a movie star. Gordon Scott. Gordon Scott was best known for his role as the fictional character Tarzan in the film series of the same name in the mid to late 50s. It was a role that propelled him into the limelight and made him known to the masses. Eager to carry on starring in successful films, Gordon relocated to Italy and became an even bigger star, acting in sword and sandal epics, which were hugely popular at the time. Those Tarzan films occurred pretty soon after Gordon was discovered. He was spotted by a talent agent while working odd jobs in Vegas, and thus Gordon Scott, the actor, was born. It was his physique and good looks that got him noticed, and the world got to see these attributes when he showed them off as Tarzan. He's deemed to be the second most successful Tarzan of all time, but the one with the most enviable physique, one that many people still admire to this day. Mickey Hargitay. Hungarian-born Mickey Hargitay was a successful bodybuilder with numerous accolades, including the 1955 Mr. Universe title. He went on to become a movie star, marrying one, Jane Mansfield, and fathering a very successful actress too, Mariska Hargitay. Peter Lupus. With a number of bodybuilding titles under his belt, Lupus, sometimes credited as Rock Stevens, moved into acting. Peter Lupus is best known for playing Willie Armitage in the original Mission Impossible TV show 1966 to 1973. Sergio Ciani, aka Alan Steele. Sergio Ciani was an Italian bodybuilder who started his career as a stuntman and body double for the equi-muscular Steve Reeves. Ciani later adopted the stage name Alan Steele and starred in a number of movies, playing Hercules numerous times. Franco Columbu. The two-time Mr. Olympia champion and Italian bodybuilder moved to the US with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1960s. Like his friend, Columbu also pursued an acting career, starring in movies such as Conan the Barbarian, 1982, and The Terminator, 1984. Yeung, aka Bolo Yeung. You probably remember Yeung from playing bad guys in martial arts movies, but you might not know that, in addition to being a martial artist, he was also a competitive bodybuilder, with a Mr. Hong Kong title under his belt. Bolo Yeung got his big break co-starring with Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon, 1973. The actor went on to star in movies such as Bloodsport, 1988, and Double Impact, 1991, alongside Jean-Claude Van Damme. Rolf Moeller. The German bodybuilding champion started acting in the 1980s and got his big break in Universal Soldier, 1992, alongside Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme. The actor continued to have a successful career and starred in numerous movies, including Gladiator, 2000. He's yet another pal of Arnold Schwarzenegger's.